Your brain's prefrontal cortex is incredibly powerful. Located right behind your forehead, it helps you rationalize, focus, regulate emotions, and most importantly, think consciously. It also gives you your sense of self. Essentially, it opens the door to deeper spiritual awareness and understanding. Did you know that meditation directly impacts the prefrontal cortex? Studies show that regular meditation thickens the prefrontal cortex, prevents it from shrinking with age, and strengthens its connection with the amygdala, helping you regulate your emotions better. So, how does meditation achieve this? Before we delve deeper into that, let's explore some intriguing facts about the prefrontal cortex and what makes it so special. For starters, the prefrontal cortex is what makes us a conscious human being. That's because the relative size of the prefrontal cortex is what separates us from the animals. Studies have found that the prefrontal cortex constitutes nearly 40% of the human brain. In comparison, it makes up about 15% of the brain in animals like apes and chimpanzees, 7% in dogs, and 3.5% in cats. This size difference likely explains why animals function mainly on instinct, lacking the capacity for conscious thought and rationalization that the larger human prefrontal cortex allows. Another intriguing fact is that the relative size of the prefrontal cortex distinguishes us from our primitive ancestors. Scientists have discovered that over the course of evolution, the human prefrontal cortex has grown more prominently than in any other species. This may explain why Hindus traditionally adorn this area with a red dot, known as the bindi, as it symbolizes this significant brain region. The prefrontal cortex is literally the control panel of your brain. Yet, oddly enough, not many of us are fully in control of it. There is a lot you can achieve when you take control of this control panel. To illustrate, imagine your mind as a horse, and the prefrontal cortex as the leash. By grasping this leash, you begin to regain control over your mind and body. Meditation can help you achieve just that, offering a way to harness the full power of the prefrontal cortex. It can help you think consciously, focus better, and regulate your emotions more effectively. Here are 4 ways how meditation positively impacts your prefrontal cortex, giving you more control over it. 1. Meditation activates and thickens your prefrontal cortex. Harvard neuroscientist Dr. Sarah Lazar and her team discovered that regular meditation thickens the prefrontal cortex compared to non-meditators. The thickness of this brain region directly correlates with the amount of meditation practice, indicating that more experienced meditators have thicker prefrontal cortexes. Moreover, meditation has been linked to increased gray matter density in areas of the prefrontal cortex, responsible for functions like planning, decision-making, and emotional regulation. This suggests that meditation not only activates the prefrontal cortex but also strengthens it over time, enhancing brain power and promoting greater self-awareness and control. 2. Meditation strengthens connection between the prefrontal cortex and amygdala. Research indicates that the prefrontal cortex is connected to the amygdala, the region responsible for processing emotions, especially stress. This connection allows the prefrontal cortex to regulate emotional responses. Without the prefrontal cortex, we will not have any control over our emotions and will act out impulsively whenever an emotion takes over, very similar to how animals act. Studies indicate that meditation actually strengthens connections between the prefrontal cortex and amygdala, thereby giving you better control over your emotions. Studies also indicate that the actual size of the amygdala got smaller, and its connections to other primal parts of the brain lowered, in experienced meditators. This enhances your ability to recover quickly from emotional stressors and allows you to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. These changes foster positive traits like patience, calmness, and resilience. 3. Meditation prevents the prefrontal cortex from shrinking. It's well known that the prefrontal cortex shrinks as we age, making it harder to think clearly and remember things. However, research by Harvard neuroscientist Dr. Sarah Lazar has shown that the brains of experienced meditators, who were 50 years old, had the same amount of gray matter in the prefrontal cortex as 25-year-olds. 4. Meditation increases activity in your left prefrontal cortex, which is associated with happiness. Dr. Richard Davidson, a psychology and psychiatry professor at the University of Wisconsin, discovered that when a person is happy, their left prefrontal cortex is more active, while sadness or depression activates the right prefrontal cortex. His research also revealed that meditation increases activity in the left prefrontal cortex, while reducing activity in the right prefrontal cortex. Essentially, meditation can make you happier according to scientific findings. More details on this research can be found in his book The Emotional Life of Your Brain, 2012. These are just a few of the known ways that meditation can change your brain and specifically, your prefrontal cortex. It's likely that there are many more profound effects yet to be discovered. So, keep meditating, and who knows what other incredible transformations await you on your journey of self-discovery and growth. Thank you for watching.